What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. Today I thought I'd give you guys my thoughts and impressions of these three uniforms. I've already kind of went and played with them, tested them all a little bit, and I thought I'd give you guys an idea of where these characters actually stand with these new uniforms. Now, first of all, I think that the Colossus uniform looks pretty freaking awesome. The Sinister uniform looks pretty decent, and I'm not a big fan of the Captain Britain looking uniform. However, it is a pretty big upgrade, but we'll start with Colossus. Now, let's take a look at all their skills. I'm not going to go into details about all their effects or anything like that. I just want to take a look at their skills. Now, something to note about all three of these characters is that their awakened skills can be canceled immediately, which is lit. So here's the awakened skill. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I mean, you see Sinister in there, you see Psylocke coming there, or Captain Britain coming in there. Pretty cool, right? But you can instantly cancel that skill and get all of the attack buffs, the residual damage from it, which is actually pretty damn awesome. That is pretty sweet, which means that they're going to have a lot of burst damage. All three of these characters are going to have a pretty decent amount of burst damage because of the awakened skill, and Colossus and Sinister do have a damage proc on their awakened skill, whereas Psylocke, or Captain Britain, actually has a damage proc on her fifth skill. Now, I have played with Colossus, and at first I was pretty underwhelmed, but whenever I figured out his rotation, he actually ended up becoming a lot better. Now, he does have the fifth skill here, which is pretty nice, right? You got the damage accumulation on this skill, but I mean, it's pretty much the same copy and paste as far as what we've come to know with Colossus, right? It's fine. They took away his damage accumulation based on damage he takes, but he really does do more damage in this uniform. This thing is actually a pretty big upgrade for him, but I still feel it's going to be more PvP oriented. It's definitely a lot stronger, definitely got a lot more pep for PvE, but it's going to be PvP oriented because that's the way they designed it. I mean, they did increase a few things for him, where they gave him the uniform effect, where now he has a decreased physical damage received by 40%, where he didn't have that before. So against physical characters, and on top of the reflect that he's going to be even more deadly. And then they, increase the decreased basic damage received by another 5%. It was 30%, now it's 35%. So it's going to make him a little bit tankier. It sucks, however, with Colossus, because you need to get his artifact to actually give him a heal. That's the thing that's going to suck about this character. He's got all these decreased damage received for his survivability, but he won't have the artifact. But if you're building him for PvE, PvP, I would just put a CTB regeneration on him myself, because that will give him a heal. And as far as I know, let me look here. I don't think, yeah, he's got penetration already. He penetrates everything except for invincibility. So I personally would just give him, I mean, it's only for 3 seconds, but I personally would just give him a CTP regeneration for PvP, especially if you don't have the artifact. And a lot of players aren't going to have it. I mean, I'll do a more in-depth review of this guy and show you guys that he actually does have some pretty respectful damage. It's actually, I mean, really, considering the build that I have on him, the testing that I've done, he actually did pretty good. And I think the uniform looks absolutely awesome. It's beautiful. And then we'll get into Mr. Sinister. Now, Sinister is, I think, probably going to be more PvP oriented, especially for AC. His damage feels a bit lackluster. He doesn't really feel all that strong. But again, I mean, I don't have any of these characters awakened, and that's going to make a big difference. It really will. The fact that you can cancel that awakened skill so fast, it will make a big difference as far as their damage is concerned. But I really feel like Mr. Sinister is going to be more for PvP. He's a very funky character to play, especially because of his passive, or his third skill here, where he gets the increased attack by 70% for each surviving summon character. So you want to have summon characters on the field so you actually can get that buff, and it makes it really, really difficult to play with them. Plus, none of his skills you can actually cancel. It's actually, I mean, so far, I mean, I need to play with him a little bit more, but so far he feels very annoying to play. However, his skills are beautiful. Like his fifth skill, he shoots all these little rays down, but his fourth skill, this is cool. Check this out. We'll kind of get a better view here. His fourth skill is awesome, because you see a little version of him, and then you see a giant version come up and shoot a ray. That's dope. That is dope. He's got some really, really cool skills. I love purple. It's a beautiful color. But he's just really awkward to play. And I think that's why, more than likely, he's probably going to end up being more of an AC character than anything, especially if you have his artifact that gives him the undead passive. I mean, and, when you see artifacts like that, it pretty well hints to what the character is actually going to be useful for. I mean, it's pretty much, they're kind of giving you a big heads up right there. I mean, he's got heals. He just, honestly, in PvE, he just feels a bit lackluster so far. From the playing the testing that I've done so far, I just feel like he seems kind of weak. He doesn't really seem like he has a whole lot of damage. I could be wrong about that. Maybe I need to work on my rotations, but we'll talk about more in another video. And then we have Captain Britain, which looks, I'm not feeling it. I don't like how it really looks. However, this uniform is a very big upgrade compared to what Psylocke had before. It's much stronger, guys. She's doing a lot more bars in 1 minute's time than what she did before. It's a big upgrade, and it's way more proc friendly. This uniform is way more proc friendly. It does have its caveats. Not everything is perfect about the uniform, but it plays super well with a proc, which is much better than what she had before. I mean, she could play with a proc before, but you had to really play her a certain way to get the proc to time right. Whereas in this uniform, it's actually quite simple. I mean, you can literally hit the 3, 4, delay, go forward, hit the 5, and then put the proc on the 5, and boom. And you can cancel her awakened skills super fast. She's actually quite awesome. And by the way, her animations, I mean, it's Psylocke, right? It looks beautiful, right? Well, Captain Britain now. I mean, it looks beautiful, right? All the butterflies. I love it. I love it. Her animations are absolutely gorgeous. Very, very cool. And then her third skill is pretty cool because you can actually move it around. Now, one thing about the third skill, and this is kind of a caveat for her, is the heal comes a little bit late on the third skill. You guys can see we're going to hit it, and then there's the heal right there. It took a little bit for it to start, and that's because she's got to do a few hits before it actually starts, which can actually trigger a proc. But she does have an attack buff on the third skill, and you get that immediately. So you can literally cancel the third skill and then go into the 4 and delay it and then go into the 5. But you won't get the heal on the third skill. However, because the third skill can move, you can actually hit the third skill and move away, right? And you won't do near as many hits, and you'll still get that heal, and then you can go back into the 4 or 5 if you really wanted to. I mean, I know that requires a little bit more careful gameplay, or you can just start with the 4, go into the 5, and then do the 3 afterwards, and get your attack buff from the 3, and then go back into the 4 or 5. I think she's super proc friendly, guys. Honestly, I played with her earlier, and her proc was just on par every single time. I didn't have any problems with missing procs. Very easy. It's just that you won't get the heal unless you start off with the 4 or 5 first, and then go into the 3 afterwards. Then you'll actually get the heal for the character. I mean, she is way stronger though, guys. I mean, she's like and I'll show you guys that right now, right? We'll just give you a little preview of old Betsy here. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's change up shop here. We'll put in Nick Fury. And where's Betsy at? There she is. And she does have immunity to guard break now, but she doesn't have super armor. And there are attacks that Call does where you actually need super armor to make sure that you don't get guard broken. All right, so let's see what she can do. We're not going to use any strikers, and you guys are going to see that you can just keep the proc where it belongs no matter what. Now, something to note is that she does have charm in her kit, and whenever she uses that charm, she actually does get a heal in regular World Boss Ultimate. So even though we're going to be canceling the third skill, she still can actually get a heal, which is pretty cool. So we get our attack buff. There we go. And you guys can see there's that proc easily landed where we wanted it. Now we got to be careful of the tornadoes, because once we get caught, she will die pretty quickly, at least at tier 2, right? I mean, whichever she's awakened, she'll have all those extra stats. But we need to be careful here. There we go. And see that heal, guys? Like, even though we're canceling the third skill, right? We still have the charm. So we're still getting a heal no matter what. Okay, we're going to kind of run around a little bit. We're going to run around. There we go. Perfect. And you just got to time that 4 as far as landing it. I mean, guys, look at her go. Look at that. In a minute, she pretty much destroyed stage 99 in 1 minute. Actually, a little bit less than a minute. Right? That's pretty damn bonkers, man. That's pretty damn bonkers. So I am actually very curious about her having her awakened skill. And that thing is a lot stronger than her regular uniform. It's a big upgrade. It really is. You know, the other version of Psylocke, the disassembled version, she cannot do that. She can't do that in 1 minute. It's pretty insane how fast that the Hellfire Gala uniform can actually do that. pretty bonkers. Don't really like the look of the uniform, but it's definitely a pretty big upgrade for Psylocke. But again, Sinister, he feels pretty lackluster as far as PvE, but I will play with him a little bit more to try to maybe figure out a better rotation, maybe try to get a little bit more damage out of him. His skills are absolutely beautiful. Colossus, I think, again, he's just going to be more of a nuisance and PvP, and even though he is a lot stronger PvE-wise, he definitely has a lot more damage than what he did before. I still would probably build him for PvP, but I pretty much stand by what I said in those patch notes. I feel like this update is just, you know, okay, whatever, you know. I do think that Captain Britain here, I mean, she's going to be the standout as far as PvE, and I do think that Colossus is going to be standout for PvP, and I think Sinister is probably going to get left in the dark a little bit, but we'll see. You know, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully, you know, we can work out a better rotation, or maybe some other YouTuber works out a really good rotation for him, and he ends up being a god, and I'm just not seeing it yet. So let me know how you're all feeling about these new uniforms, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.